It's November the 2nd, Thursday. It's been a while now since I've commented on the political situation in Israel specifically. And it's time that I weigh in so that people know what my perspective on this is. In the last 2, 3, 4 weeks, I've felt many emotions, as I'm sure many of you have felt. And I'm getting increasingly disgusted with the human slaughter going on. And as part of that, I try to understand fully what is going on, what has been going on, and who the perpetrators are here. And yes, after I think I'm on the same wavelength as Scott Ritter. If you want to follow him, I think he's a good American U.S. Marine ex-negotiator that worked both in Russia and Iraq to bring peace. He has a very good perspective on the situation, and I can follow him, including that I grew up with loving Israel, loving everything that Israel did, and understanding why they had to fight. And I also believe that they have a right of existence, given what's happened in the Second World War. However, what has happened now is 75 years they have suppressed the local population, who they kicked out of their houses, stole their land from, and confiscated their properties. Yeah, that's expected to create issues if you are not able to settle them. Then, in 1995, after many years of misery, and that started with the Nakba in 1948, finally it looked like through the Oslo Accords there was going to be a peace agreement around all this, and there was a two-state solution, and everything seemed to be wrapping up. The Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin was on board, also a peacemaker and loved by many. And peace was going to be had after many years of misery and Palestinian PLO organization rising up in resistance. Then what happened in 95, Rabin was killed by what is described as a right-wing Jew. I would say a Zionist. This was a militant Zionist that gunned him down, and the conditions in Israel were created at that time for such violent acts because people like Netanyahu were behind the scenes. He wanted to get in power again. He worked behind the scenes to undermine the work of people like Rabin and create peace, disturb the whole situation, and create mayhem. And that's exactly what happened. After the death of Rabin, Netanyahu got involved. He always knows how to let not a crisis go to waste and just escalate. Now to the point, by the way, that I think I heard a number somewhere of 80% is against the man, Netanyahu, and was almost a civil war going on in Israel. Yeah, conveniently, you wonder how that happened exactly. That October 7 attack happened. Now, for people that study the history of Hamas will realize that Hamas was created as a counter to the PLO organization, but largely also funded by people like Netanyahu. It grew out the resentment and out of the Muslim Brotherhood, but then it was created as a divide and conquer move by Netanyahu, or helped further along as in a typical divide and conquer move. And so now they've, as recently as 2019, Netanyahu was saying that, yeah, this is the strategy, this is what we have to do in order to divide and conquer them. In Haaretz, that was actually a mainstream news article that I can send you if you don't believe me. So this is the whole background of this. And then this attack happens. A lot of people died. A lot of people get riled up, and now we have this indiscriminate slaughter in response. The anger of the emotions and the anger in response to that event has now created the conditions that they're starting to bomb, indiscriminately. Today they were killing, just throwing bombs on refugee camps. 400 people died. Boom. It's total hell on earth there. And I think it's time that people step in. Many world leaders have already expressed themselves that way. The Chinese, Russians, people like, Scott Ritter. He's basically saying they need to be attacked, they need to be suppressed. I think actually, good to see Jeremy Mackenzie today fighting the whole narrative. Canada also should step in and bring these ultra-Zionists to heel. Arrest Netanyahu. I think that's the tweet here. This because if we don't, he's going to be like Hitler, like Stalin, like Mao. He's going to want to rile up this conflict that he has to try to stay in power to the point that he drags the whole world into it. And no, nobody wants that. No well-thinking person wants that. The suffering that he already inflicted on the Palestinian people is ridiculous. We need a two-state solution. The international community has to come in and impose it now on Israel. We will support all the Jews that are in Israel, that are peaceful, that want to work towards this, just like Rabin did, and just like Omar, by the way, if you look back, he also embraced that, did. It's time. We will not accept it violent in a modern society. This is barbarism, and this was left behind 500 years ago. Thank you very much.